After about a year of on and off wear and cameos on my Instagram stories, and after like 7 years of reviewing boots on YouTube, I'm finally reviewing the most popular Chelsea from the most popular boot brand, Thursday Boot Company. I am not good at my job. I should have done this many, many years ago, but better late than never. So my name is Nick, and good chance this is your first time on this channel, which is called Stridewise, where I look at casual and durable menswear and footwear. I've reviewed over 100 boots here. In addition to now, I've visited boot factories all over the world. I've even handmade my own boots with some goatskin leather that I also made myself in Mexico. So I got a good grasp on what makes a good boot. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 different Chelseas that Thursday now sells. I'll also compare the Legend to a few similar Chelseas from other brands I've been wearing lately. I'm going to tell you how to size these, and I'm going to tell you where these might fall short. And there's a full article in the description below if you want to read this at your own leisure. So why does the Legend stand out so much? Like I said, they've got 3 or 4 other types of Chelseas, and Chelsea boots stand out from other boots, not just because they're laceless, but also because unlike, Mocto boots or logger boots or so many other models, the Chelsea did not start out as a work boot. It was a walking shoe for Queen Victoria. And as such, if you're in the space of high quality Chelseas like this, by which I mean Chelseas that have more sophisticated resolable type of construction, it's kind of rare to find really casual Chelsea boots. There are plenty out there, there's plenty of exceptions, but it still never became that popular as a work boot or a outdoor boot, hiking boot. Partly because it doesn't have that history on job sites, but also because, you can't adjust the fit. You can't get a Chelsea that's that secure on your foot. So that's another reason why for more dynamic movement, it didn't become super, super popular. Most Chelseas lean smart casual or business casual or even business professional, like these Carmina ones I have. And actually, so do most of Thursday's Chelseas. They lean in the smart casual direction. The Legend though, this one is aimed at that gap in the market for a harder wearing Chelsea, which I think is probably why it sells so well. It's got a big, grippy, chunky, luggy sole that you don't normally see on a Chelsea boot, especially not with this kind of tapered sort of toe. So it's an unusual balance here. It's not often that you can wear a Chelsea boot with a baseball cap, but you can with this one. And that is how the Legend stands out among Thursday's boots and also other Chelsea boots. The unusual Chelsea toughness is further underscored by the Legend's leathers. This here is the best-selling leather for the Legend. Sometimes it's the best-selling leather overall. I think it is the best-selling leather overall. It's called Black Matte. It's black, but it's matte. So it's subtle and it's casual. It's one of Thursday's rugged and resilient leathers, which is their collection of leathers that are packed full of extra oils and waxes that make it, number 1, pretty waterproof as a leather because oil and wax is hydrophobic. And number 2, the rugged and resilient ones, all that oil and wax helps keep the leather from drying out like a lot of boot leathers do. If you are someone who doesn't want to think about boot care, most guys, this is a good leather for you, especially because the grain is also just like a little bit corrected here. Like the surface has been buffed and smoothed just a bit. And that combined with the extra oiliness of the leather means that these rugged and resilient leathers are also pretty scratch proof as well. And all of the leathers for the Legend are actually extra hard wearing ones relative to other Thursday boots. They're all rugged and resilient ones, except for one waterproof suede, which is more rugged than a regular suede because it's waterproof. And suede, once you take out the susceptibility to water and stains, which they have done with this one, suede's actually very scratch proof as well. So if you get a waterproof one, that's a pretty solid hard wearing leather. Now, real quick on the construction, one of the cool things about Thursday is they bring a lot of guys over to the world of boots who previously maybe couldn't afford them or who didn't like the look or feel of more old fashioned boots, be they more too casual or too dressy. So I'll emphasize here, these are made with good UL construction. This means they're very, very easy to resole and they're very, very water resistant. They are practically waterproof. This is a big differentiator with other Chelseas at this price point, like Blundstones or Doc Martens I showed you, which are not easy to resole at all. Not that you'll probably ever need to get them resoled because as I mentioned, this is a pretty chunky, like tall sole that wears down very, very slowly. Like I've got another pair of boots from Thursday with this same sole. They call it the Storm King sole. I wore it for a year and you can tell from the leather that is indeed from a lot of wear, but as you can see on this sole, it didn't really wear down at all. And this is the tallest sole that you get on a Thursday Chelsea. So let's do the part where we compare this Chelsea with Thursday's other Chelsea. They got the Duke, the Cavalier, the Journeyman, and the General Purpose are their 4 Chelseas they've got now. The Duke is made in the exact same last, which means that the Duke and the Legend have the exact same fit, same shape. You just get different leather choices and you get a flatter and more versatile sole with the Duke. And then they had this other one called the Cavalier. So the Duke was meant to be the versatile one and the Cavalier was meant to be the dressier Chelsea. So the big difference here is that on the Cavalier, you get a leather sole on top of a rubber sole. So it's like, it looks a little bit dressier. The grip is a little bit worse, especially worse than this very grip optimized sole, but also the Cavalier fits differently. It's a a little bit slimmer. It's a little bit tighter on the instep. If you have a low instep, the Cavalier will fit you better because it's dressier, right? So they made that one to look more tapered. So if you get it with like the dressier leathers, it's not going to look weird if you take it up to maybe even business professional with a suit. And also if your pants aren't too wide and you get a more casual leather, like the suede one that I wear, it is really versatile. The other two Chelsea Thursday has, the newer ones, there's the general purpose. This one is a pretty direct Blundstone competitor. Like it has a rounder toe shape than you get with the Legend or the other ones. And it has a wedge sole. It's like a premium Blundstone because that one can be resold. But there's one super premium Chelsea. They've got like this line called the Black Label collection where they make boots more traditionally and with like fancier, more reputable tanneries. And that's what the Journeyman is. So it exists in kind of a different realm to the other boots. The Black Label collection, that's for guys who prefer like all leather internal components and the kind of stuff you get on like pretty expensive boots if you're willing to pay an extra $150 or so for those boots. Leaving Thursday though, how does the Legend compare to competing casual Chelseas? Now, this is going to be a bit simplified because obviously I could talk for hours about just one of these comparisons, but this is the value part of this video. Are the Thursday Legends worth it? This price I'm being asked to pay, can I get something better on the market? So here you can see what a similar amount of money can get you from other brands. Number one, Blundstones, they have a more casual rounded toe shape. Lots of people will like that. It's more casual in that regard than the Legend. It's definitely less versatile, and also importantly, it can't be resold. The shock absorption is probably a little bit better because it's really built a lot closer to a sneaker. But again, yeah, if you really love your boots, you just eventually have to throw them out, which is a bummer. I don't have it here, it's in stores, but Red Wing has the classic Chelsea. That's similar in that it is a chunky casual Goodyear welted Chelsea. Plus it's one of the only Red Wing boots with a foam insole, so it has slightly better shock absorption than a traditional boot. It's a more casual and voluminous look than the Legend. It is made in the USA, which you might like, but it is over $100 more expensive. If you like hole cut Chelseas, Journeyman has some Goodyear welted Chelseas that you'll like. The sole is not as grippy and functional as Thursday's, and they are $270, but the leathers are very high quality and they're pretty lightweight for a Goodyear welted boot. Doc Martens Chelseas, actually about $30 cheaper than the Legend and more casual if you want more casual, but that makes them less versatile. And also, like I said, almost no cobbler will resole these, and the leather is both less versatile and lower quality. Like it's not very good leather. It doesn't hold up to as much abuse as something like this would. And then lastly, I've got Ariat's Wexford here. It costs about the same as the Legend. It is very casual, more casual, very functional, about as functional. Actually, you could argue this is more functional because this is 100% waterproof, unlike anything else here. You do not need a 100% waterproof boot. The Legends here, you can see here, I've worn them in puddles. Goodyear welted boots in general, they are waterproof enough for what most guys need them for, which is being able to wear them in the rain. Anything that's like better made than a sneaker, which all of these are, even the Doc Martens and everything, they'll be fine in the rain. If you do need a waterproof boot, or if you want one, Ariat's is the best looking waterproof boot I've found. Normally, waterproof boots are really chunky to have like a waterproof membrane in there and stuff, and it's the same price, but you can't resole it. So all of these have different pros and cons, but the sophistication of the construction relative to the price, I think the Legend wins out here, but I don't know, you might think differently. Let me know in the comments. Onto the sizing, which is why most guys look up videos like this. For whatever reason, Goodyear welted boots are always bigger than sneakers, meaning if you are an 11.5 to 12 in sneakers, which is what I am, you'll be an 11 in these boots and most Goodyear welted boots. Thursday does do free sizing exchanges, so it's not a huge deal if you get the wrong size. I do urge you to visit a shoe store and pretend you're buying new shoes so that you can get sized on a Brannick device, because most guys do not know what their actual official true shoe size is. Usually, like I said, your sneaker is bigger than your Brannick and your boot size is usually smaller than your Brannick. My Brannick is 11.5, most of my sneakers are 12, my Legends are 11. If your feet are wide, you'll be glad to know that 2 of the Legends come in wide widths, including this color here. And most guys don't have this level of information about their foot shape, but if you know that you have a low instep, you should know that the Legends and the Dukes, they're not gonna fit you super well. For me, I bought these little foam pads to stick under the instep here, and then they made these fit just fine, and I wear these all the time now. Another option to help Chelsea's fit better, if they're a bit too big, is you can put in another insole on the inside. Those are really your only 2 options if you have like a low volume foot. For normal guys, almost everyone, just take 0.5 off of your sneaker size and get them to be fine. Okay, let's wrap this up with some pros and cons. If it was not clear from that section comparing these to the rest of the market, these are really good value. Goodyear welted at this price, plus they're leather lined. Thursday's price is just unbeatable. The Legend is also like a really fresh look in this space, this industry. Like I said, Chelseas tend to be sleek and smart, or they tend to be like extremely casual, like Blundstones or Docs, but not very well made. So it's got this balance of rugged and refined that has really struck a chord with guys. Like I said, it is the best selling Chelsea, so I'm not like just giving my opinion on this. I think that's why it has done so well. Maintenance wise, I think a lot of guys get turned off from boots, if not from the price, it's from all this stuff they hear about having to buy leather creams and that kind of stuff. So this is a good leather for guys who don't want to have to think about all that kind of stuff. Like I said, you don't really need any care. Speaking of taking care of them, construction construction is functionally waterproof, like it's definitely rainproof, and they're also very grippy. So it's very easy to run around in New York in these when it's raining. This is a pretty outdoorsy all-weather boot. Again, especially for a Chelsea and especially for one with an almond-shaped toe. The not too thick leather combined with the extra shock absorption of the foam insole here, which is a bit unusual in Gucci welted boots, they combine to make no real break-in with these, which is a big deal. And there's a lot of sizes and widths available. As for cons, potential cons, this is a very casual boot. It's not the most casual Chelsea in the world, but you might be looking for a Chelsea that you can wear with a sports jacket or something. This is not that. This is not business casual. It's casual. Criticism that Thursday sometimes gets from guys who are really into like the world of boots. They don't like the foam insole, as they put it in there to help with break-in and shock absorption. They are a brand where a lot of the customers are coming over from the world of sneakers, so they prefer that over like a leather insole and leather midsole. The big benefit to that traditional construction is that with time it conforms to the shape of your foot. It feels like a custom boot made for you. It's really cool. You don't get quite the same experience when it's got a foam insole. One thing is that the outsole is cemented onto the midsole, meaning it's glued. In pricier boots, you'll often find the sole stitched or nailed. You'll see that on the outsole here, or both. I have scoured the forums, I've worn these for a year, never heard of the outsole coming unstuck. Again, some guys would prefer some nails or something jammed in there, but that kind of construction, it would be more than a $199 boot. So it's fine for the price. You know, you want to try and review things relative to the price. And lastly, this is more like a potential con for Chelseas in general, but I guess I'll note that while you do have a very all-terrain sole here, Chelseas aren't ideal for like hiking or activities that need a lot of dynamic movement, mostly because they just don't secure onto the foot as well. But they're just so easy to pull on when you need to run out to the store or something. I really love Chelseas. It's just, yeah, again, if you're new to that world of boots, just note that just because these are resellable, long-lasting boots, that does not mean that, oh, that means I can do absolutely anything and the entire world in them. You know, you want some laces for some things. All right, man, that's my review of Thursday's Legend. Let me know if there's something else at this price point you think is better. I try to be pretty objective here and show a bunch of other brands at the similar price point, but maybe I missed something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe here as well if you just went up here for more stuff on casual and durable menswear and footwear, especially boots. I'll see you in the next one.